For is a ewe that has a lot of promise in terms of femininity, a lot of promise of being a ewe someday and doing the job of having babies. And at this stage of the game, I think the class winner, to me, exhibits more promise of being a nice ewe in production as we get watch her develop. I really like the neck extension in this sheep. Appreciate the femininity in her. Um, More important, she parks her feet and legs where they need to be. She's a ewe that's real long body. You can tell she has that swoop that I'm looking for. She's going to have a lot of depth in her flank, especially as she gets older and older. Just a really nice one to start the class with. A ewe that I'd like to add some heaviness to that structure and add some foot size to her. The even second call is a class winner in terms of design and her type. She too bounces very nicely. She's one that's extended through that front end. Unit has clean in her chest, deep in her flank. When I get her on the move, she wants to fall down to her front end just a little bit and break right to it behind the shoulders just a tick. I like to clean that up for her to move any higher. Now, I love the rib shape, the dynamic body of the lamb in third. And that rib and body is what I really want to see in these females. But I need, especially at this stage in the game, I need to see more of a potential for her to have some future in her. In other words, she's a little quick in her maturity pattern as young as she is to me. She's also unique, it's a little bit round in her hip, but a big middle, stout volume ewe to go in third. We finished the class with this young man's ewe. She's got a lot of growth to her and a lot of extension. I guess it's a balance standpoint. I'd like to see her have some more flank to her. When I get behind her, I'd like to widen those things out. Thank you guys for the good.
Thank you. USA, the result back on 47, first place, entry number 730, and the Madison from West Coast, Arkansas. Second place, 726, Cody Jack from Mason. In third place, 727, Haley Knight, Kaufman, Texas. 729 is in fourth, and that is from Gale.
High quality set of sheep in this lineup, especially the top three. I think you could justify switching these top three around any way you want to, really based on kind of what you emphasize. In my opinion, though, when we're talking about correctness and sheep on the walk, I think the class winner rises to the top. She just really needed motion. She really keeps herself composed. A ewe lamb that balances really well from the side. Hey, I'm going to admit, she's a little bit narrower than I like when I get in front of her, especially. She's a year I like to see more overall mass, but she's also just a baby. And this thing balances so well and so correct. Her femininity, her future look, things that I'm really attracted to, her letting us out her hip. Just a really beautiful sheep to look at and want to watch on the move. I like the ewe in second too. I like the body, I like that extra rib shape she has. She's a ewe that offers the most just width in terms of her hip and her. When you get her emotion, I like that hump. One reason I like the picture right there behind her shoulders, but a really nice solid one in second. I love the sheep in third too. I love that 11 that's down the top. Just the way she holds herself, her integrity for her pipeline when she gets in motion as well. But when you get behind her on the move, she tends to want to be a little bit narrow track. I want to stand back from her and have her set up. She's a little higher in that flank than I'd like today. I'd like to change that next setup in her just some tick as well. But a beautiful set of the first three, just beautiful set of ewes. We get into the third and fourth ewes here today. These girls they don't quite walk like I'd like them to. The one in fourth has a tremendous amount of body to her though. I love the rib shape, I love the stoutness in the middle in this gal. One I like to change that that hop center, lengthen her hip just a little bit. She wants to fall down in the front end when she gets on the move. Rounding out the class, I like the femininity, the extension of this ewe in fifth. One I'd like to add some flank in her as well. And also, she wants to drop her front end too when you get her in motion. A really nice set. Thank you, kids, for coming out this afternoon.
Thank you, sir. And here's the result. Class 148. Bring you lambs first place. Engine number 106 over Rodeo from Cisco, Texas. Second place, 740. Happy Cool. We don't need that section. And third, 733. Avalanche Braxton there. Fredericksburg. Fourth, 736. Brendan Heinechek from Mason. And fifth, number 735. Fourth, I'm sorry. Fourth was Vivian from Morganville, North Carolina. Fifth is 735. Brendan Heinechek from Mason, Texas.
Really high quality set of Ewes in the ring right now. And I'm not gonna lie, the ewe that caught my eye when they came in stands in second right now. But as I evaluated these things and kept watching them, the class winner just rises to the top. I think the best way to describe her is just a really fault-free one that shows a lot of balance, one that's very correct. Fundamentally speaking, she sticks those legs out on the corners. The young man does a great job of setting her up. When he gets her in motion, she takes the one out, run that halter just a little bit. But man, I think she still moves true. She just gets in a hurry about it. But what a beautiful ewe. I love the head in this sheep. I love how her neck ties in high on her shoulders. She's a ewe with a big barrel, one that's really long hipped. And that's really the main difference I see between the class winner and second is that hip structure. It's really long and square. She's really wide across her stifle. When you look at her down, her underline ties into her stifle there. She's a ewe that's stout made and stout structure and has a good swoop to it. If I was to change her, maybe make her a tick more feminine. You're getting picky, but that's a really nice thing at this stage in the game. And that's where the ewe in second beats her. What a very feminine ewe, one that's really extended through that front end. She's a later maturing type of ewe. You know, when you look at these things a year from now, I might pick this one when she's heavy bred. I don't know. But very feminine ewe that's really long body, one that you get her in motion. I like how she moves as well. It's just that, to me, she seems a little bit shorter hip. Maybe it's an illusion because she's not so short, but I think she's a tick shorter hip. I like to clean her up in that top line just a minute, just a bit there, and add some bone work to this one. Now, the ewe and third, from a production standpoint, I like these kinds because she's very gentle. I love the temperament in this girl. I love the belly, the underlying in this sheep, how she scoops back. Shallower or chest forward, it comes back into a real deep flank there behind. The one that I have a problem with is back legs. She tends to want to hop in quite a bit. The last two, fourth and fifth, two good sheep that I think you could switch them, place them either way probably. The one in fourth, to me, is a very complete ewe. One that balances okay for me. You get her on the move, she drops her front end down just a bit. She gets a little weak in that top line. The ewe in fifth, a very stout mate, rugged, strong top one. I guess it's a balance issue for me. Like just to shallow her up in her front end, extend that neck out just a little bit. Really nice set. Thank you, kids, for bringing them in the ring.
Here are the results, class 149. The Rams, first place, 746. Rodeo Rodeo, Fredericksburg, Texas. Second place, 193, Andrew Walton from Cisco. In third, 751, Paisley Color and Sadie Color from Gatesville. In fourth, 747, Mackenzie Allen from Arizona. And fifth, 743. Voting Animal Check, Mason, Texas.
girls. I think the top pair is a close pair. I think you can justify maybe switching this pair, but for me, when you get these things in motion, there's just a big difference on how the class winner traction way. She really walks great. She keeps her feet out on the corners. She's a big hitter, stout one, strong top one. I like how her neck ties in. Just a good complete U. She wants to handle her hawk just a little straight though when you set her up, but I don't see it in motion. So she goes to the top of the class. Now the U in second, I like the balance in this U. I like the depth of body and her rib shape. This is one that's got a feminine head in her. U that opens up in her blades when you get her way in motion. One that wants to drop her front end down when you set her in motion as well. And I like to just scout her up and I get behind her. Now the U in fourth is a long fronted one that's really smooth in her transitions, especially where her neck comes into her shoulder. I really like that about her a lot. But she's one that balances just a little bit more for me when it gets a little higher, a little off in her top line. We get to the fourth place U, by far the most muscular U in the class. One that's a little too terminal in her look though, and where I consider her being a brood U. Rounding out the class, we have a real growthy, long-sided U that's going to make a nice brood U, one that's really feminine to her front end. She's just too class-sided for me today. One that I like to see have more natural shape and width and dimension to her to match that frame that she has. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And here are the results. Class 150, winner U Lance, third place, 758. From Layton, Texas. Second place, 757. Vivian Stephenson from Mooresville, North Carolina. And third, 753. Brandon Halbert, Mason, Texas. Fourth, 754. Rosalind Rogers from Sonora. And fifth, 755. Vivian Stephenson from Mooresville, North Carolina.
Nice female to run with in this class. I really love the balance in this shoe. She's just correct from the ground up. Let's talk about just that foundational aspect of where she puts her feet and legs. Every time you park her or when she's on the move, she keeps those feet and legs down in the corners. She's got a good thick hip wall on those feet. I like that. But she's a unit that carries herself very elegant as well. When she moves, she keeps very composed and keeps her head up high. That top line never wobbles on the move. Just a very well balanced shoe with a heavy structure. She has a bright future ahead of her, one that has enough rib shape for me, and I really like the hip design in this shoe as well. There's just a lot of good features in this one. Now the Ewes second, I do think is a very complete one. She's a very powerful, a big rib, broody looking female, one that's smooth in her transitions. I guess for me, she's just a little thicker in here, thicker across her neck, one that may not be quite as well built right out her tail head. Like that little bone in this one. But hey, that's a nice one in second. I like it quite a bit. The Ewe in third, very long frontage, smooth in her transitions as well. She's a Ewe that has a nice swoop to her, that feminine wedge shape in her design. I guess for me, she's one that gets a little bit rounder out of her hip. And when you get on top of her, she doesn't quite wedge quite as much. She may be carrying a little too much condition right there in her forehead. She's one that tends to be a little bit trailer, I would say, for the Ewe in third. I get to the Ewe in fourth. I love the design in this one. Very long fronted, shallow up to her chest, going deeper into the flank. I guess it's just a freshness issue. A handle across the loin. She's not quite as fresh in that one. She's got some loose hide back there when I look at her twist. So to me, maybe some fevers for hydration might help this one. She probably look a lot different than the next show that she goes to. We round out the class with a really robust Ewe in fifth, one that's got a square turn to her rib as well, one that's feminine in her head, but also a Ewe that's rounder in her shape, one that likes to deepen her flank quite a bit to place any higher in the class. A good job to all these kids as they exit.
Thank you, referee. Here are the results of class 151. Winner Ewe Land. First place, 761, Presley K. Ferris from Blanco. Second, 760, also will be Presley K. Ferris. And third, 762, Andy Cool from Lomita. Fourth, 767, Rodney Bicknar from Perry, World Washington. And fifth, 764, Vivian Scoggins, a 4-H member from the Lorraine. All right, we'll bring back our class winners from the previous classes. 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. We get our junior champion and reserve junior champion.